beauty was inside, giving a sense of pride to make it easier.
All right, Dominica. This is the talk on the block. And you know what they say? If it's on the block, we'll talk about it. We have 1 hour this afternoon. We're going to try our very best to explore as many issues as possible. We have a news conference taking place at 2 o'clock with the Ministry of National Security that we're going to carry live. As I said, there are many other things that we need to explore. Tomorrow, there's something being called the CIG Games at the Dominica Grammar School. We're gonna just play this announcement and have an interview for a few minutes before we move on. Let's do this and
Get ready, Dominica. The first annual CIG Games is here. A national track and field showdown like never before. Sunday, April 13th, 2025, at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium, starting at 10 a.m. Witness the nation's young athletes sprint, jump, and push the limits in an action packed competition. This is where future champions are made, and you won't want to miss it. The event is proudly sponsored by Caribbean International Group and the Dominican National Lottery in association with the Dominica Athletics Association and the Dominica Grammar School. Bring your family, bring your energy, and bring your voice as we cheer on the future stars of athletics. CIG Games 2025, running forward, reaching beyond.
And one of the voices behind these games is someone called Kerwin George. He's on the telephone with me at this time. Mr. Kerwin George, what can you tell us about the CIG Games tomorrow? What should we expect?
It is going to be a track and field competition with 7 teams from around the country.
Mm-hmm.
The purpose of these games basically is to continue to promote track and field on island. I think we were all very proud during the Olympics to see one of our own winning the country's first medal, and albeit gold. made it even more important. As a Dominican, I think it's important that we continue to promote sports and athletics on island, and I saw this as an opportunity for us me as an individual and my small company to try to promote athletics on island.
So you're coming from the outside.
Yes.
You're Dominican based in the US.
I'm Dominican based in the US, so I wouldn't say necessarily coming from the outside.
Okay.
Because I'm a son of the soil. So my interest in track and field started long ago while at grammar school. And if you imagine an overweight, very shy, lacking in confident kid whose track and field coach say, well, you can't run, so maybe you can throw a discus or a shot put. And the pride that I felt, walking around with a medal because I won a gold and even breaking the national record also instilled some pride in me. And I wanted to share that feeling with other youth around the island. And I, hence the games. But prior to that, also, I've been supplying the medals for Dominica Grammar School for their track and field competition for, I want to say, the past between 8 and 10 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long ago you got your medal?
I graduated from grammar school in '94. So okay. Maybe the first one I got was maybe in second form. So 1990, 91.
1991, you said. 1991. Yes. Okay, yes. But tell us, what basically, you gave the background story there, but what inspired you to keep supporting the sport?
Well, it because it is to share that feeling of accomplishment with other kids around the island. When I started supplying the medals for grammar school, I remember speaking to the principal at the time, Mrs. Christian, and asked her about medals, and her response was, well, we don't give medals anymore because we don't have sponsors and the school can't afford it. So, and like I said, the sense of pride and accomplishment that I felt walking around with the medal after the ceremony, it is something that I don't forget, and it's a feeling that I would love to be able to spread to the youth on island.
Mr. George, what are you involved with, if you don't mind us asking, in the United States?
So I own a small export company called Caribbean International Group. Mm-hmm. We sell building material to construction projects around the Caribbean, including in Dominica. So okay. we do everything from regular homes, high-end homes. We're working right now with the BVI government doing renovation on some schools. So we kind of try to do business wherever we're needed.
Well, I just want to congratulate you, Mr. George, for keeping Dominica in mind all the time and keep doing work. Is it something that you would encourage your colleagues to do for Dominica?
It is something that I'm encouraging my colleagues to do. It's something that I am encouraging businesses to do as well. And I think it looks like businesses were looking for an opportunity because with an approach to Dominica National Lottery, they were the first people to come on board. And we now have interest from other companies who, just hearing about the competition online, they're interested in sponsoring. So I think moving forward, the event could actually be much more bigger and hopefully encourage you to get involved in sports. And who knows, we may get multiple gold medals at the Olympics and more recognition from that.
Again, you want to encourage others to come to the games tomorrow?
Yes, definitely. It starts at 10 o'clock. And I think it's just important to support the youth out there and to give them as much love and encouragement as we can.
All right, Mr. George, I want to say thank you this afternoon. I'm hoping that many will turn up tomorrow to look at these games. Thank you, sir.
Me too. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Lady Dominica. The first annual CIG Games is here. A national track and field showdown like never before. Sunday, April 13th, 2025, at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium, starting at 10 a.m. Witness the nation's young athletes sprint, jump, and push the limits in an action packed competition. This is where future champions are made, and you won't want to miss it. The event is proudly sponsored by Caribbean International Group and the Dominican National Lottery in association with the Dominica Athletics Association and the Dominica Grammar School. Bring your family, bring your energy, and bring your voice as we cheer on the future stars of athletics. CIG Games 2025, running forward, reaching beyond.
Dominic is already 114. Hey, Lambi, just an announcement there for you. You left your phones at Q95. You can pick up at this time. Okay, Lambi, if you're hearing me or if anybody who knows Lambi, tell him he can pick up his phones at Q95. I think you left that yesterday. So, Lambi, check Q95. Your phones are there, okay? We're going to take a break and we'll come right back. Folks, don't forget, there's a news conference at 2 o'clock this afternoon, okay? With the Ministry of Security. We're going to come back after this.
Dominicans, enjoy your property, protect your property. You homeowner and businessman, protect your property, enjoy your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till your flood again, can't wait till your roof fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season. Insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today. A fresh market, when the money don't count and the pocket doesn't hurt you. A fresh market, fresh market. We are open 7 days a week with the top of the line products. Well stock, supermarket and pharmacy, health and beauty care, fresh produce and meats prepared daily, hot and cold kitchen, ready to go meals, sandwiches, salads, and desserts at your fingertips. Easy access, located on the bayfront, environment friendly, and our staff are approachable and ready to assist. Have you figured out who we are? You got it. Fresh your one stop. Your money don't count and your pocket doesn't hurt you. Fresh market, fresh market, fresh market. From the cradle to the grave, you don't want to be no slave. You need a loan you want to save. You want for my visitors today. with a commitment to quality. Therefore, you and me was one big family, but now with a community. Making life easy, yes, like it. No matter who you are, you can benefit when you bring your mortgage.
With rates as low as 5% and loans for all your needs.
Open an MRA.
Save for your golden years and take advantage of our savings product.
We will finance your business.
Checking accounts, small business loans, wire transfers, and so much more.
NCT you all the way. Wow.
Your community financial partner.
NCTU.
Now available at ESA Trading Limited Showroom Department, a wide range of household items and accessories. Plates in porcelain, ceramic, clear and cordial. Bowls in glassware, plastic and porcelain. Pot sets and frying pan sets. Glasses for all occasions. Knife sets and cutlery. Water jugs and storage containers. Wooden spoon sets. Dish drainers. Chopping boards. Bath towels, shower curtains, bed sheet sets, curtain rods, living room sets, recliners, and dining room sets, mats and rugs, and so much more. All at unbeatable prices. Visit us today. We are located at the corner of Kennedy Avenue and Dame Eugenia Charles Boulevard, Roseau. ESA Trading Limited, making a difference for you.
A fresh market. When money don't count and the pocket doesn't hurt you. A fresh market. Fresh market. It's a fine day. We are open 7 days a week with the top of the line products. Well stocked supermarket and pharmacy, health and beauty care, fresh produce and meats prepared daily, hot and cold kitchen, ready to go meals, sandwiches, salads, and desserts at your fingertips. Easy access, located on the bayfront, environment friendly, and our staff are approachable and ready to assist. Have you figured out who we are? You got it. Fresh your one stop. Everybody don't count and your pocket doesn't hurt you. Fresh market, never did a fine day. Fresh market.
Again, the games, the CIP games is on Sunday and not tomorrow, okay? It's a point of correction. The CIP games is on Sunday and not tomorrow. All right, this morning we've been doing some investigations. You know, Maslin Edwards in New Jersey, Dominican. She made a complaint. I wanted to listen and listen attentively. She made a complaint, as I said. She was leaving the airport and she was asked to step aside because the security, as they describe, the airline requested that they searched her bag. So she was selected by the airline on random search. As I said, I have traveled extensively, and I know that's happened to me. Oh, something wrong with what happened to her at the airport. share her story, and she has done some investigation with the airline, and you will be quite amazed what she found out. Let me first share her story, okay?
Good morning, Matt, and good morning to all Dominicans. Matt, did you say you're having an open line this morning? Hopefully you are. Because I want to talk about my most recent departure out of Dominica, where I was subjected to additional security screening, Matt. We checked it early, and sitting in the departure lounge, happens that the flight was late. Then I heard my name and my husband's name on the intercom. And then, someone, in uniform came to get me to escort me to the shed where they are supposed to go through the luggage check. But it happens that my luggage was already on the cart and sitting, right out on the tarmac already, waiting to be transported on the plane. As I said, the flight was late. So they had me come and, identify my luggage from all the luggage on the cart. They pulled off my luggage and then they brought it inside. While I was standing outside, they bring the gates down. And, of course, I got, a little concerned that my luggage was inside and the gates was closed, brought down, and I'm standing outside there while my luggage is inside. So I made comments like, why am I standing outside and you have my luggage inside? Are you going to put stuff in my luggage? I hope that's not what you're doing. And of course, that would have been anybody's concern. Anyway, they said, no, we don't do stuff like that, and blah, 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 blah. So when I got in, the guy put my luggage on. So I asked him, well, who ordered this additional screening? And he said, oh, it's not us, it's a random check and by the airlines. So what he's saying is United Airlines identify me in one of the random checks. But I remember some time ago, Rayburn Blackmore was on radio when you asked him the question about the additional screening that visiting Dominicans are subjected to on their departure. And I am not sure what he said. I do not want to misconstrue what he said, but Matt, maybe you can share some light on what he said, because there it is. The persons going through the screening said it is United Airlines, the airline, who identify me in one of the random persons for additional screening. And Matt, I just find that is I don't know. I find that is troubling, because why would you not do the additional screening if the airline identify me for additional screening? Why would you not do the additional screening at the point of my checking in? Why would I be sitting in the departure lounge for so long, waiting on my flight to leave, and then I'm hearing my name on the intercom that I should come for additional screening? And then I have to go identify my luggage that is among all the luggage in the cart sitting on the tarmac waiting for the flight. I don't understand how this is done, but I have never seen that happen anywhere. And then after I identify my luggage, you choose to put my luggage inside, bring your gates down, and then my luggage is inside while I am locked on the outside. And then, I just, Matt, this is very troubling. Very, very troubling. Thank you.
All right, so she said it's very troubling. So she decided to go further. Is somebody telling a lie? Or was somebody telling a lie? Because Maslin Edwards, knowing Maslin, she's not going to take his lying down. So she contacted the airlines, United Airlines, about she being targeted by Dominica security. That is what she found out. Here's the conversation she had with the agent there for United Airlines. Listen, Dominica, listen and tell me what you think about it.
Yes, thank you. My name is Marceline Edwards, and I just traveled out of Dominica on an international flight with United Airlines. I will give you my flight number. My flight number is UA 2848, and that was on April 5th, 2025. Yes. Do you happen to have the confirmation number of the ticket? The confirmation number is O as in ordinary, D as in dog, D as in dog, N as in Nancy, 9, C as in cat. So it's ODDN9C. Perfect. Thank you so much for that. I got it right here. Perfect. Thank you for that, ma'am. Yes, I see that it says Dominica, Newark, New Jersey. So what is the reason for the call? Okay, my reason for the call is that I was being subjected to additional security search. And when I questioned on that, I was told that I was it was a random so I just want to confirm as to whether that was United Airlines doing that. I was pulled aside on the intercom and kept for security purposes. So the TSA randomly select you out of the ticket to go through more screening process. Yes, I was told that was done by United Airlines. I see. Well, I cannot tell exactly if it comes directly from the airline. This usually happens. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but as far as I'm concerned, it's an extra security protocol that sometimes the TSA, and TSA doesn't belong to United, the TSA is the Transportation Administration Security. We randomly select specific customers that might meet. I'm not saying that you did anything, don't worry, but might meet with certain criteria that has to go through more screening process. So they check in online, and the system says something like, "Hey, you are going to get your boarding pass, but directly at the airport after you go through security." People usually get scared by this because they say, "What did I do wrong?" Or "Why are they tagging me for this?" Or "Why the airline is not giving me the boarding pass?" Usually, the airport selects, not the airport, I'm sorry, the TSA selects random people in certain flights to go through more process of screening. Being honest with you and answering your question, as far as I'm concerned, I do not believe that comes from the airline. That comes directly from the TSA. The TSA where? Is it in the country, Dominica, or is it TSA International? Being honest with you, I believe international, and most likely this happened within the U.S. This is the first time that I'm hearing that it happened outside the U.S. So are you saying that the TSA within the U.S. can subject me to further screening in Dominica, or is it the TSA in Dominica that requested? It must be the TSA International, ma'am, because we do not have jurisdiction or empowerment to do things outside the U.S., If the TSA in the U.S. does something, it will be within the U.S. because that's within their parameters. If it happened in Dominica, that means it's the TSA from there or the TSA International. Is what I'm trying to answer. Okay, so it's TSA in Dominica. I got you. But what they told me was it was a random check by the airline. The airline, United Airlines, selected my name out of the many persons who were traveling that day on United Airlines flight from Dominica for further security check. So now that you have confirmed that is not from the airline and is not from international TSA, which is the TSA within in America, because I live in the state of New Jersey and I was never subjected to any form of additional screening throughout my And so while waiting for that flight to come in, this was the time my luggage, I had to go identify my luggage on the cart and to go for further screening, which I find that was that was very abnormal. It's you don't wait until my luggage is on the cart, waiting to be boarded, and you tell me that I have to go and identify my luggage on the cart, take it back inside, and go for further screening. This is ridiculous. Got you. No, yeah, I totally understand that you were completely worried about, hey, I'm going to lose my flight because of this. I was never advised. Otherwise, I would have arrived to the airport earlier. This is usually the reason why we try as much as we can to.
All right, Dominica, you heard it. Now, who's telling the truth right now? Who is telling the truth? I'm just getting another text message from my friend Dr. Dale that he was subjected to this same thing, and they said it was American Airlines who requested this search. So, what is really going on? Are some people being persecuted, and for what reason? For what reason? I had another friend from the BVI, from the Marigot area, who said also to me that he was subjected to the same. Somebody has to explain just what is going on there in terms of this, random searching and blaming airlines when you are the ones who may be selecting a few people to do the random searches. Somebody within the port authority has to explain just what is going on. And the airline is saying it has no responsibility, and TSA know its limits. It doesn't operate outside of the United States. Hello on the telephone, talk to me, yes?
Mark,
Yes.
good afternoon, this Diram.
Good afternoon to you.
Mark, my sister, my last sister, and her husband, which is Bo Barnes, they married and they're in Canada living.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was doing his doctorate or the higher, maybe I cannot exactly, because sometime last year, early last year, that's not in my head, but I was so angry. So they sent him to Dominica to do some thesis and things like that. And he was all around Dominica doing his thesis. And when they were, they finished up what they had to finish up for them to go back. When the morning they went in there early, they were either the first or the third person waiting. They checked them, everything. And when my sister went in before her husband, and then the husband was on the same tabac, they tell the husband to come down. Had to go back for your suitcase because they say as if they saw some kind of drill. I cannot remember if it's tabac or how they calling it. Drilling to do when they're doing work You know, like if you're mechanical or you're a carpenter or something. So I cannot remember it. And my sister was screaming, and said she's not leaving her husband in Dominica and go. When I thought, that's happening, I said that, it's probably in my mind. And her husband, there they take out suitcase and they bring it when my sister started screaming. The pilot came out. The pilot said, what is wrong? They tell him something they saw in his suitcase. So they reopened the suitcase. And in front of everybody, they didn't see anything. And then the pilot was so vexed, he said he would write a letter to be written when he come back to read it. So it looks like specific people in Dominica, or who you may think that is another party, workers' party, or somebody of a different, called something wrong. Because my sister screamed like a cow on the tobacco. Of the place. You hear something that's going on.
Something I'm just hoping, it's just it's something ordinary because the airline is now denying that they have random searches here in Dominica. So what is really going on? Helen, talk to me on the telephone. Yes.
Mr. Pelte,
Yes, sir.
you there me? You there, my brother?
Yes, I'm here.
Matt, I have a thing. I have to this morning. I said whether it's a consistent sequence of events, coincidence is absent, or in the laws of coincidence there is no consistency. And common events cast the shadows before them. When the events are upon you, why are you preoccupied looking for shadows? The shadows gone. But you can pick up your kaku after it showers so damn heavy, and you see it was going to rain. You say just a little drizzle and it will pass. Oh, I see the heavy clouds, but don't worry, God is good. Leave the caco outside still. That is what we are suffering from, leave the caco outside still syndrome. Matt, look, I was permitted to call his name. Ralph Alcindor years ago came down to his aunt's funeral, Matt. And that is the way he was harassed in Dominica, Matt. That's the way he was profiled in Dominica, Matt. He came down. You know who is Ralph Alcindor?
I know him, of course.
Fought many wars for America. Sergeant Major. These criminals are there to intimidate, interrogate, to persecute, to terrorize the people. Did I use that word, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
And these people, Matt, I tell you, I went to Barbados years ago when I first fell sick. And Matt, whoever at the hospital wrote on my paper, on my referral or whatever it was, I am argumentative, I am combative, confrontational, and I'm refusing medicine. So like a Belgian nurse coming, I say, yo, you can't intimidate me with your talk now. You want to give me medication, I want to know what it is for. Call your superior. Because I could clearly distinguish, Matt, that is the same concoction, the same. One little thing like an aspirin, one capsule, and one like a big, like almost like a 10 cents for me to take. I refused it in Dominica. I was apologized to, Matt. I asked for the nurse to call a superior and they apologized to me. The same concoction, or the cocktail, not concoction, came back to me in Barbados. And the nurse want to put her foot down like I Fred Bejan. I don't feel the devil in hell. I tell I go right in hell and fight Satan and take my laugh and come back. So, Matt, I am telling you, Dominica is in a serious state. Even at the hospital recently, there, Matt. I stayed there for 1 month. I was charged 1,100 and change. They called me, Matt. Didn't I give the whole story publicly, Matt?
Yes, you did.
They sent me a WhatsApp message talking about me owing them 100 and blah, blah, blah. Then later another message telling me I owing them an outstanding bill. 5,000 and how much, whatever. Why other did not message me? Why other did not call me? So, Matt, this criminal, years ago when I tell all you, Linton said it, a criminal enterprise, but I was just saying, whether before or after Linton, the honorable criminals, Matt, because it did not have to take too much for me to, in my shrewdness, Matt, to conclude you're dealing with criminals. And I'm just making a quick nexus and get off the line, a quick connection. Matt, you remember scary departure in under Pierre Charles' administration to Barbados, Matt.
I remember that, yes.
Matt, who he met with wasn't the Chinese premier?
Yep.
As a junior minister.
The Chinese ambassador in Barbados, yes. Barbados, yes.
And all of a sudden, Pierre Charles refused to fire that traitor, which is he committed a treasonous act. He's supposed to be hanged or shot to death or something. The war of a treasonous act. He stayed there. All of a sudden, Pierre Charles died. Boom! They locked down Osborne Riviere and they make him prime minister. Or you think it's nothing easy? And you see the Chinese? You see these people they call in Chinese? Just wait a while, or you will get Sancho Moon, Senchu Bie, and Sechai Puchu. Have a blessed day, sir.
Another friend from the South saying, Matt, this abuse and scrutiny have been going on. My friend got pulled over and searched after he purchased a bottle of Tony's Punch at the airport. He could only purchase a bottle of punch after clearing security. This is real, man. This is real. I remember Dr. Dale's experience there. Are certain people, I want to clear the air, are certain people being targeted at the airport? Now the airlines are now denying that they're putting people through scrutiny. So, Mr. Ian Pinard, you are the port manager. Can you clear the air on this, please? As it relates to the searches being conducted of the head of the port security at the airport. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Good afternoon, Matt. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I had to call for this one where I smell a rat, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
I smell a rat. You're asking me why I smell a rat?
Why is that so, Mikey? Why is that so?
I want to place on public record. I worked here from 1990 to 1997.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, after 9/11, I mean, there's all type of searches and enhanced, investigations happening at the airport. But that one in Dominica scenario with Marcelin Edwards, I smell a rat. Due to the fact that I want to say that Marcelin Edwards is a vocal person. She's not against the government. She calls and she speaks her mind. And I think she was targeted, as Dr. Dale said, he was targeted too. So I think there's a list of, I guess, enhanced interrogation or harassment coming from this National Ministry of Security. I am saying this as a private individual, private citizen, based on the occurrences of what's happening to vocal people like Dr. Dangaben, Dr. Marcelin Edwards, and other like-minded individuals. That they're not against their government, they don't hate their government, but they don't like the governance and the way of what's happening in Dominica. So I would believe there's a secret list. So you need to do two things. You need to bring back Mr. Blackmore to ask him the question as to that. Is there a list? Also, you need to get Mr. Peanut and his head of security, because that is embarrassing for a small country like Dominica, where we're targeting our sisters and brothers just because their views are opposing views, their views are truth to power. I smell a rat, Matt, and that's the rat that's smelling right now.
Well, again, I have a news conference coming up in a few minutes, so I'll put the question to Mr. Blackmore, because it seems, is it just a coincidence that these are the people being targeted? Let's take a voice note at this time. What time is it? Yes, listen a little bit.
Max, good morning.
Oh, good.
Matt,
this one. Sorry.
Matt,
yes.
this one is very peculiar, because from what I know, I've been subjected to extra checks. But you know what happened, Matt? That was done in New York. But it was on my ticket. it indicates that you are a random person to be checked on your ticket. And it is done at the check-in desk when you go and check in. So you couldn't have checked in already and given your boarding pass, and then for them to call you back out to check you. It is done when you're checked in, and it is done when you're checking in your ticket. So this is a little bit peculiar. Well, then again, Dominica is a special place. Dominica is a very special place, so you can't put anything past the Dominican authorities. Remember, they charge.
Bye. My telephones are going crazy now. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Matt, good day. How you doing?
How you doing, sir?
Well, I hope you give me the same amount of time you give Blessing. I would appreciate that, first of all. Let me say good afternoon to Mervyn, my partner. Matt, is this April Fool Friday? What's the big hoorah about you going, boarding an airline, and you getting pulled over? That happens every day.
No. You see, Al, you don't pay attention. You don't pay attention because she was told that the airline requested the search, Al. You listen, Al? Did you listen? Did you listen? When you start listening, I'll give you more time, okay? 153, hello, talk to me, yes.
Matt,
Yes.
point is there. She had already gotten her boarding pass.
Yes.
Matt, this is, I don't know, this thing is the standard procedure when this is happening. It doesn't happen the way it happened to Maslin and maybe other people.
It happened to Dr. Dale as well.
A search in JFK, and what it was, after I go at the check-in counter, put my luggage on the conveyor, on the scale, it weighed, it went on the conveyor. I turned my back, I move it. Whilst I somewhere on the escalator, on the movator, I heard my name call. So I don't get a boarding pass. I go back. When I go back, the bag was right there in front of me. The same bag I saw that go, it came back.
Mm-hmm.
What was I called for? For me to witness TSA going in my bag.
Mm-hmm.
And they told me the reason why they want to go in the bag, there is something suspicious in the bag. And how they detected that? They say it has something to do with some residues of maybe bomb making or so.
Mm-hmm.
When they pulled me over and I came and I stand up there, the guy asked me for the key for the bag. I give them the key. If I didn't have the key, that the bolt cutter right there, but I give them the key, they open the bag. A stereo for a car that was there. When they saw the stereo for the car, they took it. They passed a cotton swab all over the thing and put it in the machine right there.
Right there.
When it tested negative, the guy said, I can continue to go. They closed the bag and sent it away. He said maybe because of where the thing was manufactured, whatever residues that was on the stereo was similar to something in bomb making. I go with my business. Long after I sat down in departure, when I ready, I get my boarding pass. You can't get your boarding pass on the last minute after. Matt, let us go back. Let's rewind what's happening in Dominica. Remember just last week Thursday what I went through with the police. Matt, there are people that are positioned. By now, you have to realize this demon has been in power for 20-something years, almost 25 years. And let me tell you something. The people in their mind position thinking they're more than Jade Patat that she left for them. And all these people that working, I told you, in the department, you've seen people that working for Blackmore. You've seen who that working for the Scared Rat. You've seen who that working for the Big Hand. You've seen who that working for Valerie. You've seen the different people, and you've seen those that don't even know who they're working for. Let us rewind. What happened to Lennox Linton with Scrabback? So you think now it's not worse than that? So why are we so naive to think that these things are not happening or it's happening in isolation or this? My brother, we are all targeted. In other words, you grow up with a principle that right is right and wrong is wrong, and you stand up to what is. My brother, these people want to change that narrative to tell you their wrong is right, and if you're not conforming to that, we will punish you. As simple as that. If you're talking against that narcissistic demon, my brother, they will inflict pain on you, and that is when they are happy. They get an orgasm when you feel misery. That's how they get the orgasm. That's how they feel happy. Only money doesn't make them happy. No matter what party they so that doesn't make them happy. How much that doesn't make these people happy. These people are happy when they're inflicting pain. They get an erection, they get their orgasms like that. Have a good day.
All right, good afternoon to you again. My friend Al. I mean, something you have to listen. They said they got the advice from the airline Al. You were not paying attention. Two persons have already told me. At one time, they said the American airline had requested it, and it was not. So Al, I mean, oh boy. Sometimes you're my partner, but sometimes you have to listen a little more. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, please.
Not good afternoon to you. I'm listening to this discussion there.
Yes.
And Martha Edwards is an independent person. I mean, she speaks her mind. She don't look for what side to speak. If she thinks she see her wrong, she speaks her mind and so forth. And that's who I've known since I've known Master Edwards. She had been coming in and out of Dominica. She's one of the Dominicans who have been there very often, back and forth. Now, if the airline asks to do some random search, is when you get to the counter, before they send your bag in, you go to the counter, they take your passport to check you in. Then they see the name and they look on their list or the computer, they see the name, they say, yeah, can you please step aside? And that's where your bag has been searched. The other thing too, I heard she said, is this, well, they took her now from departure area to come to identify the bags or her luggage. And then she went and then they closed the gate and they were searching. Now you have to be there. Because sometimes you have confidence in people and you felt, well, okay, let them do their work. I remember when they came to search my room, the first time we had the meeting, February 7th, 2017, on that street by the financial center area there. When the police came, quite a few of them came at my room and they were searching all in the room and everything, all about it. Even in my fridge, they searched. I was like, but what I have in my fridge you're looking for? It's a document inciting violence and so forth. I don't really get this caution and thing like that. Now, I just felt, I respect the police officers and I expect them to do a fair job. You know what a senior officer told me, who retired in the police service? He told me, according to him, no. First when they come, they have to have a warrant. And they have to read it to you, I show it to you and read it to you. And then they come in and you direct them how to search. You do search in your living room, you're there. When they finish search there, they move to a bedroom, you're there. You can allow them to search. Somebody can plant something just to think. And to me, I don't know if I'm naive, but I think there's a lot of you look at and you think they have some Christian thing in them and they are very evil and wicked in their heart. And they take this thing so far that they can do evil to you. I think this sort of thing where a gentleman, they saw this room in America, and when they went, some police officers put something in the man's house, and then they arrested the man. The man took 40 years jail. And after 40 years, another police officer said to the authority that, yes, this guy, whatever police, had done something, and the witness, and the man took 40 years, I think, got $1.8 or so million from the government. Just imagine you probably 30 years or probably 40 years, and you go for 40 years, when you come out in your own man. Why would people be so wicked? So this thing is not too hard for people to understand and for us to come out and talk about. I hope you give me a blessing. I just find, boy, sometimes, no. Well, you just have to let evil talk, and then those of us who are praying must pray to ensure that we wipe out evil and so on. And even if you are labor right, if everything is wrong, I saw little tell me, bossy boy, when they arrest you, I'm a labor right, strong labor right. When they arrest you, I shout because I was so disappointed because a person like you who showed me, I see walking roads and all these waste people, you don't say hello. I have never heard in anything vile about people and so forth. And she said, as far as she comes when they arrested me, she was shocked because she couldn't imagine it would reach that far. But that's where we are, and we have two Dominicans who believe in the right thing for the country, have to stand up and have to ensure we prevent evil from taking over. And I'm saying again, the churches, I do hear in them, I do hear in the churches, and so on, to speak, because if you don't speak and you allow these things to happen, then these people lose confidence in the authorities of government, in the authority of the church, because leadership is not only government, leadership is the government, leadership is in the church, leadership in the union, leadership in the schools, leadership, and then that come together to lead a country so that we could have peace and quietness in our country. And these things are not right, and I think the target mass in the country is supposed to speak and so on. And you imagine She's leaving Dominica to the US. She was coming in here, so she came in. She's leaving to go, and so forth. So that is just not right, Matt.
Is it? Thank you. And I'm just getting a text message from Mr. Isaac Baptist. He said I was subjected to similar search explanation while waiting to board when I last traveled. So are these people being targeted? Again, I'm going to see if I can put that question to Mr. Blackmore, the news conference, because come on, is this a mere coincidence? The next minute or two, we'll be joining, of course, GIS, the news conference. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Just give me a few seconds, Matt. Who they have that before Peanut, Matt?
I think it was the inspector.
Mr. Badwell.
Mr. Badwell, yes.
My friend. Matt, they have the people, or they put the people in strategic locations. This is a pariah state, Matt. It's an outcast. It's a failed state. So when you get Skerrak said the other day, a couple of years ago, Dominica is not a real country. You remember that, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, we are too free. This country, we don't need. That's the Chinese form of governance. That's how they operate. So, Matt, what I am seeing in Dominica, where a lot of people are still wanderers, sleepwalkers, and hoping that things change, and let us just pray. We need to fight. So I'm just saying, my brother, what the man is doing is to frustrate people like Dr. Dale Dungoben, Marcelin Edwards, all the patriots that come into Dominica, and Dominicans of any substance particularly. We don't include in Al. Leave Al out of that. Al think here in his listening to stop coming from Dominica. So the Chinese have that same intimidating tactics to search you, to come at your home 3 o'clock, to go with this one. Disappear. Members of the parliament. Disappear. Rich and famous Jack Ma. And then they reappear, and then everything about them change. So that is the same dirty tactics Spirit is implementing in Dominica. I got to say they nearly killed me twice already, but I wouldn't say nothing much. Oh, have a blessed day, bro.
Have a blessed day, 449. I said in the next few minutes we will be joining the Ministry of Security for news conference live. I have to get there myself. So let's take another phone call, and we will join the news conference. Hello, yes?
Matt, the new thing in Dominica right now, and a lot of people not aware of that. If you come from the court, you're not gathering, especially the people like me, and people are supporting the United Workers' Party or any that's not the Labour Party. Your police telling you in plain clothes. Are you aware of that, Matt?
Really? No, I'm not aware.
Yes, Matt. There's a particular short policeman. He was sent to train in China. When you see him around you, he always in his normal clothes. He's not in police uniform. He has beard. Right kind of complex. Not light, but you know what I mean. And you by the court. Anywhere you move, in a conversation, he always on his phone and he checking people out. He must be getting an extra pay packet to do that because he always telling people we by the court what date was there. He was there. He stand up right behind, almost behind Mr. James and Mr. Isaac Baptist. They sat down on the bench having a conversation, unaware that he there listening to maybe their conversation if his phone on maybe. Maybe I say, when I spot him, I let them know that person behind you there is not one of us. He just maybe, you know what I mean. He take off. Yesterday, by the court in the same way. Once you see the gathering, after Mr. Charles, lawyer, came from the court, them people there in a conversation. He makes sure he stand up around them. They're not aware that he is a police there, listening to their conversation because he in the plain clothes, he have his beard in his face, and they don't know who that around them, and they're talking in the group there. So you see, man, it's like we living in South. Yeah, Kim Jong-un is in South Korea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like we living in South Korea.
North Korea, no.
We living in Russia. We living in China, and all the other communist countries. Because we have policemen here. That's another tall, slim one again. neatly dressed. They'll be just paroling, watching you, and listening to your conversation in a technical way. Dominicans, be aware when all you walking and all you standing up in group, look out from all your shoulder. Not everybody all you see by all is all your friend. Have a blessed day. Bye bye.
Have a blessed day. I'm still waiting for the commencement of this news conference that's going on. So somebody says, my daughter Simon Matthew has a show on Q95. Her second name is Sen House, like mine. I think they did the same thing to her sometime last year. So some people, it appears, I said appears, are being targeted, and being called out for random searches. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes? Caller. Caller, are you there, caller? Caller, are you there? No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Let's find out. We'll continue that conversation sometime next week, okay?
Woman that know, let's just down. Trade Chapter 2025. For long ago it wasn't easy to ride a lorry from the country. And when that truck get to the city, everybody want to be there. Who were in sun, not getting alone. Some be in dread, making it rain. It's a that we tree, leading to the sea. Look the people, come and the city. Sunny of it. I'm a cuesta, en las papas, aman pista, y cuesta hasta nota, a cuesta, a la vía, y cuesta la. What will I know? Let's it down. Let it go. The people migrate from the country and elsewhere migrating the city. So my brother, things not easy. The fat food kill anybody. It makes die high. I don't know why. The people stand just distance. It's the front. He would know of God. If he that said we be on the front. I'm a cuesta, en las papas, aman pista, y cuesta la. Hasta nota, a cuesta, a la vía, y cuesta la. What will I do? Power! Shorty! Shorty, show up you when you need breathing. May every you just feel baby. On the side of the road, watch them weary. In the trail, on the wall, in the lounge. Pista la show, la power glow. Do what you want, BP must flow. One thing I know, and you know it sure. BP must be number I'm a cuesta, en las papas, aman pista, y cuesta la. Hasta nota, a cuesta, a la vía, y cuesta la. Let's get down. Trendsetter. Almighty God, and on the body by registry, even Wesley, a compassion, you're not really, Sakwi to play, Makapi, Sakipedia. Malpeta, Beta, Wamuna Data, Tutuna Data, even lawyer, prosecutioner, all them avocat, Tutuna Data. Sakipedia. Wikipedia. With that public visa. Watch it. Unit.
From this time, I know myself. I would see folks in church praying, quoting Bible, singing songs of praise to the Most High. And I wonder what their heart was saying while they chanting and talking in tongues, sanctimony in the Lord's house. Yet so callous, like the leader shall be office manager. A forward part cannot stand her. Always late and spewing head. What she done, it's not that good. Mother great, mother wicked, and it's so damn blasted. I'm still love. Devil deal with the devil. Comfortable, they're treacherous. They judge all the time. Bible study is their life, but we can lies and criticize to try to take the breath from your mouth. Yeah, mother wicked, and it's so damn blasted. I'm still love. Mother wicked, it's they who need the Lord. Mother pray, mother wicked. Boy, boy, boy. Look, trouble, trouble. My next door neighbor, the golden, and she wake up rosary rolling, blasting gospel music like the place full of demand. But look, I hear it, that same lady spending money by the other man. But that story did not shock me, cause I don't see some church members and their holy leaders are serving more than one master. They forfeit their day while they fast and pray and look the other way. Once they get paid, mother wicked, and they so damn blasted, unscrupulous. They will deal with the devil, and they comfortable, they're treacherous. They like to dance, they like to sing. Praise and worship is their thing. But late at night, they're taking flight to blight the innocent all about. Money, money, wicked, and it's all that blasted, unscrupulous. Money, money, wicked, it's they who need the Lord. Hallelujah. More than pray, more than wicked. Trouble coming,